Hi, my name is Paulina. This is Paweł. Today we're going to show you a choreography to Because You Loved Me by Celine Dion. We have divided our tutorial into two parts. In the first one we're going to show you all of the steps from the point of view of the man and of the lady, and in the second one we're going to dance the entire routine while counting. Make sure to pick one side of your room as the front of the routine. This is important because it's going to help you maintain proper directions while dancing. In our case, the front is in front of the camera, right there. This means that we're going to show you most of the routine with our backs to you to make it easier to copy our moves. Remember that you can always pause, rewind, and practice a given part of the routine, and we actually encourage you to practice in smaller parts, but make sure to ultimately combine them all together and practice the entire routine continuously. When we get to dancing with the counting at the end of the tutorial, we're going to dance for you twice, first time facing away from you, same as we're going to show you the steps, second time facing you so you can see the routine from every possible angle. Important thing is that our counting will have exactly the same pace and rhythm as the song, so if you will be able to dance with the counting, it's going to match the song perfectly. Okay, let's begin. We're starting the routine in front of each other, more or less 4 steps away from each other. Man is with the left side to the audience, lady with her right side to the audience. Keep your back straight and look at each other. Once the music starts, walk forward naturally. No need to count the steps, the goal is to get together in the middle of the dance floor. Gentlemen, place your right hand on the lady's waist, left one behind your back, and from that point walk around each other with rather dynamic steps. Rotate 1.5 times, meanwhile place the left hand on the lady's wrist, and when you rotate to face the audience, taking a step with the left leg, that's the easiest way to do it. Left hand goes above the lady's head, leading her rotation. Shift your weight to the right leg, give the lady your right hand, bend your knee slightly, take a side step away from each other, getting into what we call an opening. Notice that the outer knee is also bent slightly. Gentlemen, now shifting your weight to the right leg, use the right hand to pull the lady toward you and lead the hand backward to initiate her rotation. Then let go and place your hand around her back. Left hand goes on your chest on top of the lady's hand. Shift your weight to the left leg, bend your left knee, push off the left leg, getting back to the vertical position. And we have a tiny pause here. Let's now cover the lady's perspective. From the top, once the music starts, walk naturally toward the man. Place your right hand on his left shoulder, the left hand stays on your left side. Walk around each other, and once you reach the point when your left side is to the audience, that's when your final rotation is going to start. Rotate clockwise, taking 4 steps. First step is with the right leg, and right, left, right. Left, give your left hand to the man, bend your knee slightly and symmetrically shift your body weights away from each other. From that point, rotate counterclockwise, taking 4 steps, start with the left leg and wrap in the man's right hand. And left, right, left, right, feet together, ending up very close to the man. Notice what happens with the hands as well. With the first step, lead the left hand up, keep your forearm close to your own head to your ear, right hand goes in front of you and make sure to lead it above the man's right hand, in here. Left one is high close to your head, then goes behind the man's neck on his shoulders. Make sure to get really close to each other to create the connection through your hips. Ladies, during the pose, make sure to engage your core, stiffen up your entire body, and keep it in a straight line during the lean. Direct your hips forward and lean against your partner with your hips more than with your upper body. Let's show this from the front. Notice that the lady places the right hand on the man's chest. He's placing his hand on top of the lady's hand. Ladies, you can get on your toes, shifting your weight forward, getting into the pose and out of it. Let's go back to our proper direction and we're going to count the beginning of our routine. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the count of 5, there is a small pause. You can now pause, rewind and practice, but before that there is one more important thing to add, and it concerns leading the rotations. It's going to be important during the entire routine. Let's focus on the men's perspective first. When leading the ladies' rotation, notice that quite often you will need to change the way you're holding the partner's hands. So the position of the hands is not fixed, they will need to rotate, sliding on their surfaces. The important thing is not to let go to rotate the hand and grab again, but to maintain the connection all the time, but loose enough for the hands to be able to rotate and adjust to the current position. Second important thing is that while leading the lady's rotation above her head, you need to focus on leading it exactly above the head within the axis of her rotation. Avoid pulling toward yourself because this will pull her out of her balance. Ladies, from your perspective, the hand that is connected with your partner is very important. Make sure to keep your elbow bent at more or less 90 degrees and keep it slightly stiffened up. We quite often say that the hand is connected with the body, and keep in mind that the man is going to rotate your entire body through the hand. If the hand is too relaxed, he will only be able to move your hand and not your entire body. Gentlemen, if you're grabbing the lady's wrist before the rotation, it doesn't make any difference, the rules are still the same, maintain the connection, but allow the hand to adjust to the current position. Ladies, about your posture during the rotations, make sure to keep your back straight, engage your core muscles, and keep your steps really small while rotating. And one final pointer to apply to the entire routine is to keep your knees slightly relaxed and slightly bent and active. Whenever you're shifting your body weight from one leg to another, actively use your knees to keep the motion fluent. Okay, so much for the digression. We've counted the previous part, we can move on. Let's start with the men's perspective. We've ended after the lean. Left hand is on your chest, on the lady's hand, there was a tiny pause. Now, bend your knees slightly and take a side step to the left. With the left leg, right hand stays between the two of you and grabs the lady's right hand like you're shaking hands. From that point, you're going to move around the lady with dynamic steps. The first step is with the right leg aiming to the left and in front of the lady. At the same time, use your right hand to lead her sort of behind you. At the same time, you will rotate clockwise. Step with the right leg, left one around the lady, right hand goes up and places the lady's hand in your left hand. Bend your knee slightly and take a side step to the right. Now shift your weight to the left leg, left hand goes up and rotates to raise your elbow, lead it above the lady's head, tiny pause, let go with the hand, shift your weight to the right leg, hand slides along the lady's arm and grabs her hand at the end. And one final part to finish this sequence. Lead the lady's clockwise rotation in front of you. Start by shifting your weight to the left leg. Left hand goes down to the left, then above the lady's head. Shift your weight to the right leg. Connect your feet. Right hand goes on the lady's shoulder blade. Create a small frame. Gentlemen, one more important information for you. When you're going to move around the lady, there is going to be one quicker step that we're going to count as an end. This means that you will have to move really dynamically. Okay, now the lady's perspective. We've ended after the lean. While getting out of the pose, make sure to shift your weight to the left leg. Take a step backward with the right leg, leave your right hand in front of you. From that point, rotate counterclockwise, aiming behind the man, take 3 steps, left, right, bend your knee slightly and step backward with the left leg. Move toward the partner, aiming slightly in front of him, step with the right leg and step away with the left leg. Notice what happens with the hand at that point. With the step, bend your elbow, your hand goes up, your forearm goes in front of your face. At the end, hand goes on your opposite shoulder. Bend your knee and take a step away again. Now rotate clockwise in front of the man, taking 4 steps. Right, left, right, left, You can take an additional tiny step or two to adjust your distance to the man, connect your feet, and create the frame. We're going to explain the frame more detailedly in a while. Now let's focus on what happens with the hands during the openings when you're moving away from each other. Gentlemen, you can lead your hand to the side or place it behind your back. The important thing is to still move your entire body away from the lady. Ladies, we recommend that you always lead the hand to the side. Okay, let's count the part that we've covered. We've ended the lean 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can pause and practice, and once you're ready, we can move on. In the next part of our routine, we're going to use the basic step of waltz. So now we're going to teach you the basics of waltz. We're going to show it standing backwards so you can easily copy our moves. The steps for both partners are the same. Start by taking a step forward with the right leg. This is a heel step. 1, left leg to the side, 2, close on 3. Now left leg goes backward. 1, right to the side, and close. And again, forward, side, close, backward, side, close. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. While taking a step forward, avoid sliding your foot on the dance floor, just take a natural, everyday step starting with your heel. Keep your knees relaxed at all times, forward, now to the side on your toes, the heel is not touching the dance floor, then close on 3, end up with the body weight on your right leg. You need to make sure that your left leg is ready to go backward right away. Now backward, 1, right to the side on the toes, close on 3, and right, left, together, left, right, together, right, left, together, left, right, together. Notice that the step that we're taking on the count of 1, so a step forward or backward, is going to be slightly bigger than those to the sides. Let's show this facing the camera this time. It's going to be a natural everyday step. Avoid taking a step that is too big. It's more or less the length of the step that you're taking while walking every day. Then the second step, the side step, is going to be shorter. It's going to look like this. Side step, connect. Now backward, smaller step to the side, connect. Let's do this again, facing this direction. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, for the waltz to look smooth and fluent, it's very important to remember about relaxing and slightly bending your knees. Every time you're taking a step forward on the count of 1 or backward on the count of 1, you need to bend your knee. It's going to look like this. You're taking a step forward with the right leg, bend the left knee first, then transfer the body weight onto the right leg, then a side step on your toes, 2, 3, continue on the count of 1 with the left leg backward, bend the right knee, 1, side step 2, 3, on the toes. One more time, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going for a fluent motion up and down, bending your knees, then going onto your toes. But avoid going into the squat, going too low, because we don't want it to look funny. We just want to keep the knees slightly relaxed. We want them to work naturally as they do. While walking, it's impossible to take a natural step with your knee completely straight. You need to feel that your legs are actively working. You need to feel that the muscles are doing the job. And the more effort you put into it, the easier and more fluent the step is going to look. Also remember about keeping a proper posture, keep your back straight, slightly flex your core muscles. Now is the perfect time for you to pause, rewind and practice this part for a while. The next step is dancing it together, but before we go into this, we're going to explain you a few things about the frame. For the men, the most important part is keeping your back straight, keep your elbows away from your body. Obviously, if you're wearing a jacket, you cannot raise your hands too high, but avoid keeping your elbows right next to your body. Your left hand is going to hold the lady's right palm. She's placing her hand with her fingers going between your thumb and your pointer. You can close your thumbs or press your thumbs against each other with your partner, whatever feels better for you. This palm should be exactly in the middle of the distance between the two partners, more or less on the eye level of the lady, especially if the height difference is significant. Your right hand is very important. Place it on the lady's shoulder blade and keep it high. Avoid sliding your hand down to the lady's waist. Thanks to keeping it high, you will have a connection not only through your palm, but also through your forearm and arm. That's our goal. That makes the leading easier. Remember that in order to lead the lady efficiently, you need to keep your hands energized and generate some tension in your arms to be able to move the lady's body through your hands. We usually say that we are connecting our hands with our body. The frame needs to be fixed throughout the dance. You cannot move your body without moving your arms with it. If you're rotating your body, your hands and the partner are following. Also, make sure to use the frame to keep the same distance between the two of you while dancing. It also needs to be fixed. Now let's focus on the lady's perspective. As we have mentioned, place your right hand in the man's left palm. Make sure to close your fingers. Place your left hand on the man's shoulder. You're looking for a place between the shoulder and the arm of the man. There is a deltoid muscle there, and you want to place your thumb and your middle finger on the edge of this muscle. They fit together perfectly. Again, we are underlining that the frame is mainly used for leading, so keep the hands energized, avoid relaxing your arms because you will not be able to feel the position of your partner then. Let's now move on to the way we're standing. We're not directly in front of each other. The lady is taking a tiny step to the left to end up on the man's right hand side. And it's important to keep that position throughout the dance. The right foot is pointing between the legs of the partner. Thanks to this, there is a space for your steps. And that goes for both partners. One final thing to mention is that you can either look at each other into each other's eyes, or you can rotate your head to the left and look to the left. This is going to help you to stay on your left side, and also if you keep looking at each other for too long, you might get dizzy. So from time to time, it's a good idea to look around the room and get a focus point somewhere on the horizon. Once we've got the frame covered, we can start dancing the basic step together. As we've mentioned, the steps for both partners are the same, but the lady is starting with the second part of the step, with the left leg going backward. Man is starting with the right leg forward, as we've practiced. Let's start very slow so you can get a feeling of dancing together. Let's go, lady is dancing with the left leg backward, man right leg forward. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can now pause, rewind and practice this part. Remember that the more you synchronize your moves with your partner using your frame, the better it's going to look. Match the length of your steps and your timing with your partner and practice before moving on. In the next part, we're going to start rotating during the basic step. We're going to start in the same direction as we did before. We're going to rotate clockwise 90 degrees on each 3 steps. We are still using the basic step, so you will still take 3 steps, but we're going to rotate meanwhile. All of the rules from the previous part are still valid. You are still keeping your knees slightly relaxed. The sequence of steps is the same. Start forward with the right leg and immediately start rotating clockwise to face the right side of the room. Take a side step with the left leg, but now your side is in a different direction. Close on 3 and continue with the left leg backward. Again, rotate immediately 1, 2, 3. And again, right foot forward, 1, 2, 3. Left backward, 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Left backward, 1, 2, 3. Right forward, 1, 2, 3. Left backward, 1, 2, 3. If you have any doubt about the amount of the rotation, you can think about facing each of the walls of your room, switching the wall to the one on your right after each 3 steps. This might help you to maintain proper headings and proper amount of the rotation. Again, you can now pause, rewind and practice for now separately without your partner. Then we're going to move on to dancing together in the frame. Lady is going to start with the left leg backward, same as we did before. It's going to look like this. And 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. And again. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Now, a couple of secrets to make the rotation work. First of all, the most important thing is for the person dancing backward to get out of the partner's way. It's going to look like this. During the first part, the lady is moving backward, so she's getting out of the man's way. And you do this by taking the step backward slightly more to the left to create the space for your partner. And 1, 2, 3. So while rotating, and this goes for both partners, instead of taking your step backward along the straight line, you want to place it more to the left, taking a diagonal step backward and to the left. This creates a space for the partner's leg, and that's the second very important part. The person moving forward has to place the foot between the legs of the partner and firmly move forward. Let's continue. Now, man is getting out of the lady's way, and now the lady is getting out of the way. Man should help the lady by leading, while taking your step slightly to the left, getting out of the way. Use your right hand to lead the lady around yourself, gently pulling her shoulder blade around yourself. Just make sure not to lead with your hand only, but to move your entire body, keeping your hands connected to your body. While moving forward, in case the lady forgets to get out of your way, you can use your frame, leading with both your arms, but slightly more with the left one to lead the lady to the right side gently. Just make sure not to move your hands without moving your body, but keep them connected with your core, and by rotating your body connected with your hands, you're leading the lady. Remember that the man is supposed to lead the lady in such a way that she is on his right side at all times. Remember not to use too much force while leading, but an impulse for the lady to go slightly to the right is usually helpful. Again, this is a good place for you to pause, rewind and practice the last part for a while. We're underlining not to be afraid to take a step between the legs of the partner while taking a step forward. Use the frame to fix the proper position while dancing. This will help you to avoid stepping onto each other's toes and avoid taking the steps that are too big. Keep them rather small. Now that you know the basic step of waltz, we're going to use it, and just as you have learned, we're going to rotate 90 degrees with each 3 steps. The thing that changes is our counting. Instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, and so on, we're going to count from 1 to 8 as we did during the previous part of our routine. But we're going to count the step when we're connecting our feet as an end. Also, there will be some exceptions when we will only count up to 4. Do not be surprised, it's just supposed to make the counting match the song better. Okay, let's get to it. This time the frame may be less formal, so you are closer to each other. Man starts with the right leg forward, lady with the left leg backward. Let's count. 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and... Now a small change, gentlemen, when you're with your right side to the audience, continue dancing with the left leg diagonally backward and to the left, then right leg, this time do not connect your feet, face the audience, bend your knees slightly and go into the opening to your left side. Then shift your weight to the right leg, pull the lady gently, let go with the hand, spread your arms and grab the lady's hands like this. We want to end up in what we call the shadow position, ladies on the man's right side and slightly in front of him. And the lady's perspective, take a step forward with the right leg like you're continuing the basic, aiming between the legs of the man. Right leg, left one, around him. Notice that you need to get to the man's right side with this step. Now bend your knee slightly and take a side step to the right, getting into the opening. Lead your right hand slowly to the right. Side step to the left, toward the man. Let's show this without the partner. At that point, cross your arms, leading the left one below the right one. From the front, you're away from the man. Now left hand goes below the right one. Prepare the hands like this. Man grabs the lady's hands, and from that point we're continuing the basic step again, but this time not in the frame, but in the shadow position. To make it easier to rotate together in this position, while dancing the steps forward, man takes slightly bigger steps dancing around the lady and her steps are smaller. While dancing the steps backward, man keeps his steps very small, the lady takes slightly bigger steps to dance around the man. This makes rotating together easy. Let's continue. Now the man's steps are bigger. And again, when we get to the point when the man's right side is to the audience, we have another change. Gentlemen, continue your basic, nothing changes about the steps, but at the same time keep your elbows to the sides to create the space for the lady and raise your hands above her head. Step, step, hands go up, then spread them to the sides and at the end create the frame. Make sure to end up standing on the left leg. Now the lady's perspective. Let's start after the shadow position. Ladies, you will rotate clockwise in front of the man, taking 2 steps. Start with the left leg and left, right, face the man and keep your weight on the right leg. End up with your knee slightly bent, this will make it easier to keep your balance. During the rotation, raise your hands and make sure to maintain the connection with the partner through both hands. Gentlemen, keep your hands energized enough to lead the lady. Notice also that you need to follow the axis of her rotation as she moves in front of you. Okay, let's now count. We're going to start after the first part of the basic step from the first change. 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Our first 4, we're counting from 1 again. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and. Man ends on the count of and, standing on the left leg. Create the frame and, if you're ready, we can move on. Let's start with the man's perspective. We're still going to use the basic step of waltz, but we're going to pass each other back to back while dancing the steps. The steps are exactly the same as before, nothing changes, each partner just continues the basic, rotating 90 degrees with each 3 steps. Gentlemen, during the first sequence of 3 steps, use the right hand to lead the lady to your left side and raise your left hand. As you connect your feet, lower the right hand so it won't interrupt the next part, because during the following 3 steps, lady goes below your left hand. At the same time, you're simply continuing the basic. Left leg, right one, feet together. Lower the left hand but keep holding the lady's hand up to this point. This will make it easier to keep the proper distance between the two of you. Look to the right to see the lady with the corner of your eye. Continue the basic step, right leg, left one, feet together, spread your arms back to the frame. Continue the basic, left leg, right one, feet together. And now we're repeating this entire sequence. Right, left, feet together, left, right, together. Right, left, together, left, right, together. And now the lady's perspective. Ladies, during the first sequence of 3 steps, with the side step to the right, move more to the right to get to the man's left side, so you can go below his left hand easily during the following steps. Raise the right hand, left one goes down, continue the basic. Right leg, left one more to the side. With this step, you can lead the left hand to the side as well for better visual effect. Make sure to pass the partner with those steps so you can easily move backward during the following steps. As you continue, turn your head to the right so you can see the man and assess the size of the following step that will allow you to get in front of him and create the frame again. And continue the basic. Repeat the entire sequence. At that point, you're passing the man on his left side, now on his right side, and back to the frame. Gentlemen, very important pointer for you. During this entire part, keep your steps really small, because you're closer to the axis of the rotation, lady dances around you, and if your steps are too big, it's practically impossible for her to pass you. Also, take some time to practice this, to find the perfect length of the steps and to synchronize your moves together. Let's count this part so you can practice easily. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and. Again, if you're ready, we can move on. Let's start with the man's perspective. Take a step backward with the right leg. As always, remember to bend your knees slightly to keep the motion fluent. Hands are sliding down to this position, the lady's hands are on top of the man's palms. We call the next sequence spaghetti, and the key to dancing it is to keep moving around the lady all the time. You don't need to count the amount of the steps, but make sure to keep moving your feet with rather dynamic steps, moving around the lady all the time, even though we're also leading her rotations, switching places, and so on. First step is forward and slightly to the left to pass the lady. With this step, right away lead the left hand up and to the right side to lead the lady into the counterclockwise rotation and wrap her in your right hand. Move around her, the hand goes down, you end up in a position you already know. Keep moving around. When you face the audience, raise your right elbow, lady is going to lean forward and go below your arm, move forward and around the lady, turn the upper body toward her, keep rotating. Then lead both your hands together, down to the left and above the lady's head, then spread them to the sides like you're untying a giant bow, but keep moving your feet, keep walking around. Right hand goes on the lady's waist, left one behind your back, face the audience, end up standing on the left leg and place both your hands on the lady's waist. One key information, when your hands are together, they're going to be crossed for a while, and that's perfectly fine, don't worry about it. But remember that as you lead them above the lady's head, you should take a step toward the lady to get close to her and easily reach above the head. And now the lady's perspective. Start with the step backward. With the left leg, place your hands on top of the man's palms. From that point, take a step forward. With the left leg, left, right, rotating slightly, ending up on the man's right side. Continue walking backward, left, right, left. Now, go below the man's arm, so bend your knee, lean forward, and take a step backward with the right leg. Step, and move around the man again, left, right, left, right. Rotate clockwise, keep your steps small and rotate in one place, just shifting your body weight from one leg to another. Left, right, left. Place your right hand on the man's left shoulder, like this, and continue moving around. Step with the right leg, left one, rotate, connecting your feet up to the point when your right side is to the audience, place your left hand on the man's shoulders, right hand stays on the shoulder as well. Let's count this part so you can practice it easily. We've ended in the frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move closer to the camera. And we can move on. Next part is the dip. Let's start with the man's perspective. Both hands are on the lady's waist. Make sure to keep your weight on the left leg. Bend your left knee and reach with the right leg to the side without shifting your body weight yet. Actively push off the left leg, shift your weight to the right. Notice that the right knee is bent right away. Tilt your upper body to the right, looking at the lady, but avoid leaning over her. Push off the right leg to get out of the pose, connect your feet, but keep your weight on the left leg. One more tip for the pose. When you get into the dip, make sure to keep supporting the lady's back with your right hand, right elbow is away from your body, keep a nice posture and keep your back straight. After the dip, take a step backward with the right leg, hands are sliding down, you already know this. Step forward with the left leg, left hand goes up and to the right. We're getting into the shadow position again. Let go with your hands. Lady is going to uncross her arms. Place your right hand on her waist and the left hand grabs the lady's left hand. Now the lady's perspective. You've ended the previous part standing with your left side to the man and with your weight on the left leg. Bend your knees, take a step backward with the right leg. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight in front of you. Direct your hips forward and up and tilt your upper body backward, looking at the man. Push off the right leg, getting back into the vertical position. Let's show this from the front as well. And again. Right leg backward. Hips forward and up, upper body backward, look at the man, push off the right leg, end up facing each other again. Let's show the following part in this direction as well. Ladies, step backward with the left leg, connect your feet, shift your weight to the right leg. Now, step forward with the left leg, rotate counterclockwise, left, right, left. Feet together, uncross your arms, place your left hand in the man's left hand. Ladies, during the dip, it's very important to avoid pulling your partner with you and leaning on him too much. Try to stay within your own balance as much as you can. Okay, let's go back to our proper direction and we're going to count this part. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can move on. In the next part, we're using the basic step of waltz. Again, we're starting in the shadow position and again we're going to add a variation to the step to pass each other during this sequence. Let's start with the men's perspective. During the first 3 steps, raise your left hand up and above the lady's head. Same as before, use your right hand to lead the lady to your left side. Same as before, make sure to keep your steps really small during this entire sequence. From that point, continue the basic step. Left hand goes down, right one should be on your right side rather low and grabbing the lady's right hand. While taking a step forward with the right leg, let go with the left hand, the one that is behind your back, and raise the right one above the lady's head. Step to the side, feet together. As you can see, meanwhile, you're grabbing the lady's left hand with your left hand. It's important that the lady passes you moving further to the left side. With the next step, right hand goes down, left one goes up above the lady's head. She moves behind your back, same as before, make sure to prepare the right hand for the lady on your right side. And continue in the same way, right hand goes up, grab with the left one goes up, grab with the right one. After we've danced around the dance floor 1.5 times, when the man is with the back to the audience, take your final step with the right leg more to the right side, rotate your body, raise your right hand leading the lady's clockwise rotation. It's very comfortable to lead, the hands are going to position themselves, wait for the lady to finish the rotation standing on the right leg, then take a side step to the left and away from her. Let's now focus on the lady's perspective. The most important thing during this sequence is to simply keep dancing the basic step of waltz. During the first 3 steps, raise the left hand, make sure to get to the man's left side. Thanks to this, you will be able to go below his arm during the following steps. During the backward steps, make sure to get to the man's right side and place your right hand in his right hand. And again, forward step, get to the left side and prepare your left hand placing it in the man's left hand. Continue, get to the man's right side, place your right hand in his right hand. The key is to maintain the connection through one of the hands at all times. During the backward steps, you can turn your head to the right. This will allow you to see your partner's right hand and place your hand in it right away. Also, this will give you a better feeling of the distance between the two of you. And we're getting to the ending of this sequence. But before that, let's cover all of those steps continuously one more time. From the top, from the shadow position. Keep in mind that the lady gets to the opposite side of the man with each 3 steps. From left to right, from right to left, switching places all the time and throwing big semicircles with your hands. Ladies, during the final 3 steps, do not get to the man's opposite side, stay behind him on his left side. Now rotate clockwise, taking only 2 steps, start with the right leg and right, left. Most of the rotation happens on the right leg, end up close to each other, shift your weight to the left leg, bend your knee, take a step backward with the right leg away from the man. Let's now count this entire part up to this point. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to repeat a part you already know, the one in which the man moves in front of the lady dynamically. Let's count it right away. We've ended on 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3. At that point there is a change. Gentlemen, stay on the left leg, use the left hand to lead the lady into the counterclockwise rotation, so she's unwrapping. Wait for her to finish the rotation standing on your left leg. Place your right hand between the two of you and in front of yourself, because with the next step moving away from each other, we're both going to draw a big semicircle above our heads with our hands. Same as always, make sure to use your knee actively, so first bend it a bit, and while straightening it, try to reach as high and as far as you can, shifting your weight to the opposite leg, the opposite knee bends slightly to keep this motion fluent. Ending this sequence, pull the lady toward you, shift your weight to the left leg, let go of the hand, spread your arms to the sides, and with a broad motion, place them on the lady's waist. Connect your feet, but keep your weight on the left leg. Now the lady's perspective from the unwrapping. Take 2 steps, rotating counterclockwise, left, right, stay rather close to the man and place your left hand between the two of you. Keep your knee bent and while straightening it, shift your weight to the left leg, drawing a semicircle with your hand. Now step toward the man with the right leg, connect your feet and place your hands on his shoulders. From that point we have very simple steps. We're just going to shift our body weights from one leg to another, rotating together as a couple clockwise. We're starting to the man's right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, ending up with the man facing the audience. Notice that during this part, the lady is on the man's right side, not exactly in front of him. Thanks to this, man's right foot is between the legs of the lady and the lady's right foot is between the legs of the man. This makes it very easy to rotate together smoothly. Let's count up to this point. To make it clear, let's again start from the part where the man dynamically passes the lady. We bend it on 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the following part, we're getting into the dip. Gentlemen, shifting your weight to the left leg, rotate your body slightly counterclockwise, keep your right leg on your right side, bend your left knee and straighten your elbows to lead the lady into the pose. During the dip, it's extremely important to avoid leaning over the lady, contrary, keep your back straight to create the counterweight for her. Also, make sure to direct your hips forward to the partner because hips are the base of the pose. At the end, use your hands to pull the lady back to the vertical position and straighten your knee. Now the lady's perspective. With the step to the side, on the count of 8, rotate your body to end up with the left side to the audience. Make sure to maintain the connection with your partner through the hips. Bend your right knee, left leg is straight in front of you, direct your hips forward and up, tilt your upper body backward. Get out of the pose, straightening your knees. All of the rules during the dip are the same as before. Avoid pulling the men with you, stay within your own balance. Let's show the dip from the front as well, just to make sure that you can see everything. 7, 8, into the pose and out of it. Notice that the lady's hands are on the man's shoulders. If you want to go lower during the pose, bend your knees more and straighten your elbows more. Let's go back to our proper direction. After the dip, we're going to continue dancing the side steps together, but without the rotation this time. Let's count this part right away. End of the previous part, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and side steps, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going into the opening. Gentlemen, while shifting your weight back to the right leg, lead the lady to your right side using both hands and rotating your body slightly. Bend your knees and shift your weights away from each other. Right hand grabs the lady's hand, left one goes to the side this time, because we're about to lead the lady into the rotation in front of you. Shifting your weight to the right leg, use the right hand to lead the lady in front of you. It's important that it's in front of you, not onto you. At the same time, put out your left hand like this, with your thumb pointing down like you're checking your watch. The left hand takes over the leading, it goes between the two of you, then above the lady's head. Shift your weight back to the left leg, stop the left hand in the frame position and stiffen it up slightly. Place the right hand on the lady's shoulder blade, creating the frame. Now the lady's perspective. After the side steps, with the last step to the left, move slightly around the man, left, bend your knee, and shift your weight to the right away from the man. Leave your left hand for the man to grab it. Lead the right hand to the side. Now rotate counterclockwise, taking 4 steps. First step is with the left leg, and with this step, place your right hand in the man's hand with your fingers pointing up. Continue the rotation, right leg, left one, right one, end up facing the man. Make sure to keep your weight on the right leg and create the frame. Man ends this part standing on the left leg. Thanks to this, we are both ready to repeat the part with the basic step in which we're passing each other back to back. Let's count it all together, starting from the dip, then continuing through the part that is a repetition. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're getting into the basic step. Let's keep counting. 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and. Now we're repeating the sequence we called the spaghetti. Step away from each other and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At that point we have a change in comparison to the previous part. On the count of 7, 8, we're preparing to get into the lift. Gentlemen, same as before, after the dip, shift your weight toward the left leg, but this time end up with your body weight between the two legs. Then bend both your knees, place your right hand lower on the lady's waist, and the left one goes below the lady's left leg. Few important pointers for the lift. First of all, avoid leaning forward, make sure to keep your back straight, bend both your knees and lift with your legs. As soon as you lift the lady, start rotating counterclockwise, and it's important to avoid walking around the entire dance floor, rather stay in one place and rotate around your axis. There is no secret to how to do it, simply shift your body weight from one leg to another to be able to rotate. This lift should last for 8 beats. At the end of it, on the count of 7, 8, slowly place the lady back on the ground, but keep rotating. So slow down the rotation, bend your knees, but keep moving your legs, keep rotating, and start leading the lady around yourself. Let's now focus on the lady's perspective. You are obviously being lifted, but there are a few things you can do to make it easier for your partner to carry you. First of all, stiffen up your entire body slightly and engage your core muscles. Let's show this from the front. So, engage your core, stiffen up your body, raise the left leg, place the left hand behind the man's neck on his shoulders, and use this hand to press down on his shoulders, lifting yourself up. You can place the right hand on top of the left one to make it even easier. Also, you need to bend the knee of the leg on which you're standing before getting into the lift. There is a moment when you're raising the left leg and bending the right knee at the same time. This is very important. Thanks to this, you can push off the right leg, getting into the lift. See how it looks from the dip? So, dip, step forward with the left leg, shift your weight to the right leg, at the same time raising your left leg and bending your right knee. Then firmly push off your right leg, synchronizing this with the exact moment when the man starts the lift. During the lift, hold on to the partner, keep your core engaged. Your left leg is bent obviously, right one can be bent as well, or straight, whatever you prefer. While getting off the lift, land on your right leg first toes and the ball of the foot, and bend your knees slightly to cushion the landing and start walking around the man immediately. We're going to be in this position after the landing. Gentlemen, lead the lady around you, you're the axis of the rotation. Rotate up to the point when you're facing the audience, then put out your left hand with your thumb pointing down as we did before. Lead the lady's rotation in place to end up in the shadow position with the lady's hands crossed, something you already know. Ladies, at the end, you don't need to count the steps, your job is simply to rotate staying in one place and end up on the man's right side in the shadow position. Notice also that during this final rotation, lady slides her hand along the man's arm, thanks to this we're grabbing hands, ending up in the wrapped in position. Okay, that's all you need to know about the lift. The entire sequence is going to last for 2.5 eighths. Let's go back to our proper direction and we're going to count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gentlemen, don't worry about placing the lady back on the ground in a specific place or direction, simply use the following steps to lead her around you up to the point when you're facing the audience. Then lead the final rotation below the left hand. Okay, let's move on. Gentlemen, on the count of 5, raise both your hands, make sure to keep your elbows to the sides to create enough space, raise the hands, ladies uncrossing her hands, placing her right hand in your right hand and the left one in your left one. Then spread your arms to the sides with a broad circular motion. Rotate your entire body slightly counterclockwise. At that point, start leading the right hand over the lady's wrist. Lead the lady into the clockwise rotation using this right hand as a sort of a hook. End up holding hands like you're shaking them and take a step away from each other. This is a preparation to repeat the part you already know. Ladies, raise your hands, uncross them, spread them to the sides, rotate your body slightly counterclockwise. Then rotate clockwise, taking 3 steps, right leg, left one, those steps are really small, and step backward with the right leg. From that point on, we're going to repeat a part you already know, the one with moving around the lady dynamically. Don't be surprised that while counting we're going to use slightly different numbers, but the steps and the pace are exactly the same as before. Let's count this sequence starting from raising the hands. 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're almost at the end of the routine. There is one more small change. Lead the lady to the right side with the side step to the right. Repeat the opening going to the left. Grab the lady's hand with the right hand. Now go back to each other. Step with the right leg. Use the right hand to pull the lady gently. Let go. Spread your arms to the sides. With a broad circular motion, place them on the lady's back. That's the very end. Music fades out. You can bring your foreheads together. And the lady's perspective. After the dip, take a large step around the man with the left leg, bend your knee slightly, step with the right leg, give your left hand to the man, now back to each other, step with the left leg, feet together, and with a broad circular motion, place your hands on the man's shoulders and neck, embrace each other, bring your foreheads together. Since the music slows down and fades out, make sure to take your time and very romantically just embrace each other at the end of the routine. Okay, this way we've reached the end of the first part of our tutorial. Now we're going to dance the entire routine with the counting twice. First time facing away from you, second time facing you. Remember that our counting has exactly the same pace and rhythm as the song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the end of our tutorial. Remember that it will take a certain amount of practice before you start feeling comfortable, so do not get discouraged, just keep practicing. We are crossing our fingers for your wedding dance, and we wish you all the best.